Do you like to get scared? Why dark facts are scarier at night? Horror and darkness mix rather perfectly. Scary facts can evoke terror and horror because that's simply how our brain works. Creativity plays an important part here because we start to imagine fictitious things. Our minds start imagining things that are simply not there. Or are they? If you love a good horror movie or a true crime podcast, if these things don't scare you, keep watching this video. In 2008, a man living in rural Japan noticed his food disappearing at night. When he installed cameras, they revealed a woman had been living in his house. At the time of her discovery, she had been living there for months. Dennis Radner, aka the BTK Killer, profited off his own derangement. He got a lot of business installing security systems for people afraid of the BTK Killer. Sarah Winchester of the Winchester rifle fortune was convinced she was haunted. To confuse the frightful spirits, she built her mansion to be as confusing as possible. Today, you can visit the Winchester Mystery House. Maybe the happening wasn't very scary, but doctors have found a fir tree growing in a man's lungs. Climate change is making spiders bigger. Dogs like squeaky toys because they mimic the screams of their prey. In 1872, a ship was discovered floating in the ocean with no signs of its crew or passengers. It was called the Mary Celeste, and when people stepped aboard, they found no one there and no sign of a struggle either. The ship was in good condition, with no signs of damage except a bit of water at the bottom. What happened to the passengers on board? Where did they go? Over the years, people have put forward lots of theories, including pirates, sea monsters, and even alien abduction. But it's never been solved. What do you think? A dead counsellor still attends University College London's meetings. Jeremy Bentham, an 18th century philosopher, scholar, and one of the founders of UCL, died in 1832. But that didn't stop him continuing to attend council meetings. His skeleton can now be found in the halls of UCL, dressed up in his clothes and stuffed with straw, and has been in attendance at UCL council meetings on at least one recorded occasion in 2013. In the meeting notes, he is recorded as present but not voting. Dracula is based on a real person. The famous vampire is actually based on a historical figure, Vlad Tepes, or Vlad Dracula, who was a Romanian ruler in the 15th century who liked to stick his enemies on spikes. Unsurprisingly, his nickname was Vlad the Impaler. He was apparently not a very nice man. The Dracula in his original name means son of the dragon, Dracul being his dad's nickname, and refers to his fearsome reputation. He doesn't look much like our modern idea of a vampire though. He has a moustache and a big fancy hat. There are also no reports of him drinking any blood. There are tunnels full of skeletons underneath Paris. In 18th century Paris, the graveyards were getting full, which was leading to overcrowding and the spread of disease. The solution? Dig up all the old bones and store them in underground tunnels beneath the city. They're called the catacombs, and they house the bones of millions of people. The tunnels themselves date back much longer, to when they were used as underground quarries in medieval times. Many of the remains have been arranged in elaborate patterns and designs, and the tunnels stretch for over a kilometer. You can even visit them if you really want to. On average, the catacombs get about 500,000 visitors every year. In 1518, the city of Strasbourg was hit by a dancing plague, where people would dance uncontrollably for days at a time. It began with a single woman dancing solo for a few days, before eventually more and more people became affected. Doctors proclaimed that the illness was caused by overheated blood and recommended that the inflicted should continue to shimmy and sway the fever away. Musicians were even called in, and a stage was set up in the town centre to give the dancers more room. While the idea may seem funny at first, most of them kept dancing till they fell unconscious, and some died from exhaustion, heart attack, or stroke. The Blob is based on a supposedly true story. On September 27, 1950, the Philadelphia Inquirer ran an article with the headline, "Flying Saucer Just Dissolves." The night before, police officers John Collins and Joe Keenan swore that they'd watched a mysterious object fall from the sky. Rushing towards the landing site, the men stumbled upon a purple jelly-like mass. Collins and Keenan immediately summoned two of their colleagues, who arrived just in time to watch the material evaporate without a trace. The FBI was contacted, a press conference was held, and the whole mess became a national laughing stock. Fast forward to 1957. That year, producer Jack H. Harris was looking to make a creature feature, but he couldn't come up with a decent premise. So he asked his friend, Irvine H. Millgate, to try and devise one. "It's gotta be a monster movie," Harris explained. "It's gotta be in colour instead of black and white. It can't be a cheapy creepy. It's gotta have some substance to it. It's gotta have characters you can believe in. And there's gotta be a unique monster. Never been done before. And the method of killing the monster would have to be something that Grandma could have cooked up on her stove." Millgate remembered the Philly incident, and the rest is history. The brain eats itself when you don't get enough sleep. That's why you notice that in times when you're not sleeping well, you have memory gaps and you don't function properly. Finally, the dead outnumber the living 15-1. 1968, the dead outnumbered the living roughly 29-1. Thanks for watching. As you linger on this page, why not take a moment to click on the link displayed on your screen and venture into another of our captivating videos. Await our rendezvous there.